Hello and welcome to my next episode, Successful Entrepreneurs. This is Krish Ravipati. My guest today is Kevin Jensen from Jensen IP Analysis. Kevin, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Kevin, tell us more about Jensen IP Analysis.
Jensen IP Analysis is a telecommunications billing team, or basically a business that looks after corporate communication costs.
Right.
Our aim is to help businesses identify their overspending
Right.
and their extra charges from the telcos, and to fix errors and mistakes on their corporate billing and charging.
So you notice that there's a lot of extra spending the corporates do, and they don't notice these costs going up. Yeah,
exactly. Most businesses we work with, we find about 90% have errors on their bill.
Right.
They just don't know that there's errors there.
Right.
And they're hidden in the jargon and in the complexity of the bills. And most companies, if you ask them, they would say, look, the bill's really complex. They get 400 pages of jargon. I've got no idea what it's all about.
Yeah.
It goes up and down every month. I can't figure out what's going on.
Right.
And
the money just goes out.
The money just goes out.
Right.
It's too hard to solve.
And I can relate to that because I was a financial accountant for a large company, and we had this big bunch of telephone bill every month coming in. We didn't have time to go and analyze it, so we just paid it.
Yeah.
Is that common? I was thinking it's our company. Is it common with every company as well?
Every company.
Right.
Yeah. The bigger the company, the more complex, the more products, the more services. In years past, they combined mobiles, voice and data services.
Right.
And nowadays it's mostly voice or data services and mobiles. But companies, have thousands of items and products and services that change with different contracts. It's really complex.
Right.
And understanding that process and identifying where they're being overcharged, and quite often, specifically with Telstra, because I'm ex-Telstra, is that there are mistakes made,
Right.
for all sorts of different reasons, but they can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yes, and I was going to ask you the next question as well. What are the common problems you're seeing in the industry? It could be Telstra bill or it could be any other bill.
Yeah.
Just tell us more about that.
Okay, so two common things that we sort of see are discounts that are missing.
Right.
So a big account will have a significant number of different discounts and products. And how it works is that sometimes there are products that miss discounts for various reasons. Mm-hmm. And that can be worth a couple $100 a month,
right,
or $1,000 a month in missed discounts, going back through the life of the contract. And that's usually about 3-year term. So, I've had contracts that have credited back over $100,000 because of missed discounts.
$100,000.
Yeah.
Wow, that's big money.
It's big money.
That's big money. Wow. I was going to ask you, I did see on your LinkedIn profile that there was a client you saved $50,000. Now the number is going up, $100,000.
Well, it varies from client to client.
Yes.
But, obviously, the bigger, the more complex the products and services, and depending on what we find.
Yeah.
So that's basically the first one is the discounting structure and getting that right and making sure that's applied correctly, and then getting back those discounts that they're entitled to because they've signed a contract. So that's a big one. And the other one is NBN conversions and discount services. So we find a lot of services that they've converted to NBN, but they're paying for the old data service as well as the
the NBN. And what once again is people don't have time.
Don't have time to check. Just a recent example here. I'm working with a large corporate company in Australia here. We found 180 services that are on their account.
Yep.
We're doing an audit, and there's probably at least 120 of those services are disconnected.
Wow.
And they've been paying for them from 2018, 2019, 2020, 2022. They're all disconnected at different dates, but it's possibly over $150,000 worth of credits once we claim all the money back, because they were disconnected with the part of the process of NBN conversion, but they only disconnected part of the problem and not the other half. And they left the other half on the bill, and so they're being billed each month for these services, in addition to their new
services as well.
Yeah.
Tell us this also. How far do you usually go back when a client approaches you?
Oh, look, it varies, but usually it's 2 or 3 years. It's got to be within a contract period and within a reasonable sort of time frame. You can't sort of claim back things from 10, 15 years ago. Unless you've got proof, unless you've got evidence, you can't really make those claims. And we don't normally do that unless there's proof. So if you had come up to me and you said, oh, look, I did have a client recently who had a service cancelled or some issues with the service from 2016. And we worked with them and negotiated, and we worked out that Telstra had credited back part of the charges back to 2019,
Right. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
not back to 2016.
Okay.
When when they started the dispute and worked and said, "Oh, look, this is our issue,"
Yeah.
so they'd given them partial credit, and so then we negotiated and realised that, hey, look, you missed a 3-year period there, and they got $11,000 for that.
Fantastic.
But that's not the norm. Norm
Yeah.
is, it's got to be within a contract period, and it's got to be a reasonable sort of claim.
Right. Right.
We don't make fictitious claims. we make practical and real claims that we can follow up and that we can actually get money back. Because if we waste our time on something we can't prove, then it's no use to the customer or ourselves. It's just wasting our time.
Yes.
But once we got the proof, it's easy.
It's easy because it's there and you can prove it and get the credit back. So these customers who are currently looking at their Telstra bill to contact you, what are the flags that they need to look at?
The up and down of the spend, basically. If they're not sure about the spend, or if they've got current disputes in hand where they've had some issues in the past or recent past with Telstra particularly, and they're not sure what's going on, or if their correspondence with Telstra is coming back with answers they're not sure of and they don't agree with what's going on. That's usually the flags that I pick up and we get clients for.
Right.
And then we start the process not just on what they're disputing, but also a complete overall the whole bill.
Audit.
So we look at the whole picture.
Whole picture.
Yeah.
So that's a good point you made. So the first thing is, if they have a current dispute going on and they're not getting any resolution out of it, they just need someone to resolve it and get an outcome from it. And then also the second thing you mentioned is if the bills are varying month to month. One is whatever $30,000 and second month is 15 and again it goes 45. That's the flag. That's good. And do you predominantly do for corporate clients, or what is the size of the business you look at?
I have to spend around $5,000 a month as a general sort of start.
Right, a minimum 5,000. That's a good start. So 5,000 is actually not a big money if you think about it. With the communications happening, isn't it?
It's not too hard. And
it's quite easy to reach that.
On those smaller bills, we will look at them and figure out what's what's going on. If there's nothing really too expensive, we might just say give them some advice. If it's problematic, then we'll get further into it.
Into that. And do you specialize just Telstra, or do you look at Optus, Vodafone, or other
specifically providers? Telstra? It's my background.
Right, specifically Telstra.
But if customers come from other services or turning to other services, I can help them navigate that process and make sure that it's clean. And I've got a couple of customers in that bracket now where they're transitioning to other providers.
Right.
And that's going to be very problematic too, where the dates don't align up and they're overcharged from one or the other providers. So it gets very messy. So making sure that's smooth and transition
smoother.
Quickly,
Another question I have is, if a customer was with Telstra, now he moved on to another customer, do you still take up that bill from Telstra? Is that
if the current accounts are live, got any live services on them, and if there's an opportunity there for us to get into the Telstra systems and be able to have access to those reports, we can still work on it.
Right, it's easier.
Once they've left Telstra and they've got nothing left, you can't get
it's hard.
It's because you've got to have access to the systems and have a live account and be able to negotiate with them and work with them. Otherwise, it's going to be really difficult.
Right. Kevin, I noticed that you have an interesting picture on your pull-up banner. You've got a bucket and water is leaking out by the looks of it. Tell us more about that.
Well, that was just an idea we had basically to promote the business, and the idea obviously attracts your attention, and you say, a leaking bucket. Well, that's exactly what we fix. We fix the holes in the bucket. And you don't know where they're coming from or what they're for. Usually we start off with 1 or 2 leaks and we find there might be 3 or 4 others in the mix as well. So that's quite often the scenario.
Right.
And those leaking buckets could be worth, like I've got a client now spending, $800 a month for services they don't have or shouldn't have.
Right.
And if they go back 12 months or 24 months or whatever it might be, it can be worth thousands of dollars.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's good. So one customer is $800 a month. Even if you say a round figure of $1,000, we're talking $12,000 a month, a year. A year. 3 years is $36,000. That's big savings.
So
wow.
One of the examples was they had a $6 product. And it was only $6.
Yep.
But they had 120 of those products every month.
Yes. Yeah, 12,
so
6, 7,
$800 a
$20.
month for services that were basically redundant, that weren't needed.
Yeah,
And they were paying that continually for 5 years.
yep.
It's like 40 grand.
Fantastic. I mean,
money
that's a
that's
very good point you made, Kevin, because when you said those numbers, I was thinking, oh, it's a big significant savings, but $6
On one product.
one product on 120
Lines.
line items,
Yep.
it's $800 savings right there.
Yep.
That accumulates
Yep.
to $12,000.
Yeah.
So I think everybody who's watching today,
Yeah.
they shouldn't just think that, oh, I don't spend 10,000, but it's even those small numbers
Little
will
things that
absolutely add up.
matter a lot. Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh, excellent, excellent. And that's a fantastic picture because that actually tells you where you can stop the leaking, and it does, and it communicates what you do.
Yeah, exactly.
Kevin, tell me this: what is your unique value proposition you bring to the clients?
Well, in the telco industry, I don't think anyone does what we do. Most telco dealers and others will sell you new products, they will sell you new contracts, they will sell you all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
But no one looks at the bill. It's too hard, it's too complex, and no one wants to deal with it. And across the industry, that's generally the case. Our value focus is getting the bill right.
Right.
And we don't sell products, we don't sell services. We're not there to sell them a new contract or sell them to another provider or anything like that.
Right.
All we're doing is providing them a service to ensure what they are paying is
Yeah.
what they actually have in the network. And there is often differences between what's on the network and what's in the bill. And you know, getting those, justifying those differences, fixing those problems, gets them more confidence. And then when they go out to a dealer or a telco and they say, look, you know, we want to upgrade our products and do this and that, they've got a lot more confidence. And along the journey, we can also provide them month-to-month management. So we provide an additional service. We're a larger company. We can provide them transitional arrangements. So while they're transitioning to new carriers or doing these changes, we can ensure that they're not mucked up again. That whatever they're doing, continually changing things, we can manage that from month to month and make sure they get it right. Here's another example of,
Please.
give you a recent one where they had a product change. They changed one of the products, and the consultant put the wrong product code on, and it was 10 times the value. It was $80,000 on the bill.
Wow.
For one product code.
One product code.
And that's all it was. They
Yeah.
swapped the product code out, they put the wrong product code in, $80,000 of the customer bill.
Wow. And that's a good thing you said, is there's nobody in the market who's providing these services.
Nobody is. No.
Yes, this is exactly after the contract is signed. This is the bill review. This is the bill audit.
Yeah.
A lot of companies do the prior to that.
Yeah,
They sell
exactly.
and they
sell
provide
and all
it.
the rest of it, and then they're left to their own devices, and they're left to go to the telcos and say, oh look, it doesn't look right, and then they've got to argue the point, and they've got to go through it all, and it just gets really messy.
Right.
So we provide that sort of continuity of service for them and give them confidence going forward.
Yeah. So the way you mentioned 2 points. One is the review of the bill.
Yep.
So if someone's going through these fluctuations in the bill area, that's the flag they can contact you, and you do the audit services.
Yeah.
And the second services is the ongoing support as
Yes.
well.
Yeah.
Now, if someone is looking to change their service or change their provider,
Yep. Yep.
do you provide any services before that as well, like a consultation?
I can do, yeah, exactly that. Especially if they're going from Telstra to another provider.
Yeah.
It's always good to get that check before they go.
Right.
Because we don't know what you can get back. You know, it might be 20 grand, it might be 5 grand, but it's money that you get back that you wouldn't normally get back. If you changed everything across, all you're going to do is lose that opportunity to negotiate or to get those disputes or whatever else might have happened in the past back. You're not going to be able to get that back. So we can provide that for them and say, look, you know, we don't care where they're going to or what provider they're going to, if they're churning or whatever they're doing. That's their business. But our business is trying to ensure what they have is correct and working on that premise that, you know, if it's not correct, we can get the money back for them.
Money back, yeah. And do you usually go to the customer's premises and work, or do you work offshore as well?
Online mostly. It's mostly online. Because
Right.
most of the clients are remote. I'm working in Sydney, Melbourne, North Queensland, all over the country.
Right,
In
right.
most cases. But look, I'm happy to visit with clients personally if they're in the Brisbane or Gold Coast area. I'll come and have a chat to them. We can talk about things and see where we go from there.
Awesome. And maybe another important question I have, the most important question I guess, is what made you start your business?
Well, I was part of the problem.
Yeah, were you?
I worked for Telstra for 32 years.
Oh,
I'm a billing expert. I was in the billing, working in the corporate teams, working with large business and corporate accounts.
right.
I was a backup to the offshore teams. So all the customers currently go offshore.
Okay.
All their voice and their data and their emails and everything gets done by offshore teams. And the problem around that is obviously the language abilities, the
Yeah.
knowledge abilities and all that sort of thing. And they don't have the skill set to handle complex issues and problems. They don't have the knowledge of the whole picture. They learn segments of the portions of products or services, but they don't get the whole picture. And I guess just a depth of experience I had with Telstra. I was part of the fix-up team that we were looking after the larger customers and giving them a bit extra service, and then they just made us redundant. So I knew when that day came that there was a business model there.
There was a business model there. Excellent.
And I'm just trying to continue that model on, give those customers a bit of an opportunity to
Fantastic.
really get value for money.
I mean, if you work for 32 years for Telstra, I'm sure there's no other expert there who knows more
that's
than
right.
you.
Just using my knowledge and skills to help provide valuable service. Yeah.
Excellent. Kevin, you mentioned that the minimum spend would be $5,000.
Yep.
Now, if there's someone out there who's not doing that spending,
Right.
do you still provide any like a consultation services for them to
Yeah.
see if there's any savings?
Yeah, I do. For most clients, I do a free analysis, a free sort of check. It's usually just about a 20 or 30 minute chat and also a review of the bill. So if they send me the billing details, I can pick up from 20 minutes in the bill, just have a look and see what's on there. And I can sort of decide then if it's a worthwhile proposition or not, and if there's any pointers or anything else we can give them, help them along the way. I might just give you another example on that one. I picked up a client, well, not actually a client, they were just a interested party, and they had one line for $1,900 a month, but it was only a 2 megabyte data line. Now nowadays 2 megabytes isn't much,
nothing.
right? Nothing really.
Yeah.
But it's an old line that was still on the bill. They
Right.
had never changed it. It was working okay. They were still paying $1,900 a month. And that's all that I found on the bill that was of interest. And I just said to the guy, look, this isn't my field, but you should be upgrading this to like 500 megabytes or whatever it might be. And you pay $500 a month or $600 a month. And you save yourself $1,500 a month straight up. And all you got to do is just change the service over to current technology. And that's all it was. It just hadn't bothered changing the contract for years. And we're still paying the old price on it. It worked okay, but it just wasn't viable.
Cool.
Really.
Yeah. So it's for anyone who's watching, it's absolutely worth.
Yeah.
Just calling you and say, hey Kevin, can you please review our...
That was just a freebie. Just throw that in there and say, look, here's my friend's name. Try to talk to him about that.
Yeah.
This is what you should be doing. Yeah.
Fantastic. And Kevin, if someone wants to contact you, any of the viewers want to contact you, how can they reach out to you?
Just via email or phone number.
Yeah, but what's the email, best email address?
Best email address is kevin@jensenipa.com.
Yeah.
Or the mobile number is 0409 481 5008.
Awesome, thank you. And you're on social media as well? LinkedIn, Facebook?
LinkedIn and Facebook.
And just a search for your name or
just search for Kevin Jensen or Jensen IPA analysis.
Awesome. And Facebook as well? Are you on Facebook as well? Yeah. All right. So that's Kevin Jensen, Jensen.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay.
So Kevin, thank you very much for joining me. I'm sure our viewers got a lot of value out of it. That actually prompts them to look at their bill and contact you, I guess, even to say, hey Kevin, how are you? And just, can you review our bill?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for coming in to my show. Thank you.
Chris, excellent. Thank you.